Hi, I'm Roy Hersh, and I'm here to give some basic explanation on how to decant a vintage port. Right here we have a Fonseca 1983. We'll start with that one. I've been decanting bottles for the last hour and a half now. So I'm just going to finish opening this one. And, okay. Once the cork is removed from the bottle, one of the things to make sure to do is take a clean cloth and wipe around the neck of the bottle to get any of the gook and sediment that may have been on there from under the capsule. And we need a couple of basic implements once the cork is removed, and I will show you. This is a port funnel, which we will insert into the decanter, Fonseca 83. Okay, and the other thing that becomes really helpful, even though there is a fine mesh screen that goes inside the funnel, we also have cheesecloth. And people use all kinds of different things to strain their port with. Some use nothing and freehand pour, using a candle underneath the bottle to illuminate at which point the sediment shows up in the bottle as it starts to come out. But this simplifies the entire decanting process, makes it foolproof, and allows you to get the maximum amount out of each bottle. So what I like to do is take the funnel and put a double layer of cheesecloth right inside it, and then into the decanter. All right, so we're going to take a look at what this sediment actually looks like, not only what's left in the bottle, but what has gotten into this cheesecloth. And I'm going to pour it right into the sink here so you can get a feel for how much of this there really is. Look at that sink. And then I like to always rinse out the bottle, pouring cool water in there. And especially if you're going to take your bottle to the restaurant or with you to an event, it's good to clean out the bottle, but look at how much is actually in there still. Equal to what was in that filter. So it's really amazing that out of your 24.5 ounces that go in a 750 milliliter bottle, you have a full 2 ounces of sediment in most older port bottles that have at least 20 years of bottle age. First thing I like to look at is the color. And a lot of wines, color doesn't matter. So for example, Burgundy, I don't feel that Pinot Noir, either domestically or Burgundy itself, does it really matter the coloration of the wine as long as it's not oxidized, whether it's highly extracted and dark or if it looks much lighter. I don't think it makes a huge difference. In port, it makes a very big difference because it gives you the ability, in most cases, when you open the bottle, to make a judgment on the wine itself in terms of the vintage. Next, what I like to look at as a occasional port drinker is I like to take a look at the aromatics of the wine and get a good feel for what it smells like, if there's alcohol protruding, what fruits you can detect, what other sensations you get. Do you like the nose? Is it clean? And then I look and take my, swirl and take my first sip and see what I think of the actual palate presence. What is the body weight, which tells me a lot in terms of concentration, in terms of some of the extraction that's there. The level of fruit, is it drier? There are very different types, and we're going to talk about that, the house style tonight, quite a bit. So you can determine a lot of that when you're tasting it, but I not only look at the body weight, I also look at the length of the finish, the structure. Is there good acidity there? But even more important to port is what about the tannins? Excuse me, the tannins in port allow the ports to age. So the tannins basically provide the structural component to allow port to sit in the bottle and mature for decades. Last month I was in Portugal and I did a port tasting with 2 different houses with every vintage back to 1900, and all of the early ones, the 1900s, 1904s, 8s, 12s, 27s, were beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So port, unlike most wines, can age for an extraordinarily long time. In my opinion, the only other wine that's even better at aging is Madeira.